Hi, my name's Anna and this is where I share my making, mainly knitting, but also crochet, sewing and whatever else takes my fancy. In today's video, I thought I would chat through Wonderwool, what came home with me from Wonderwool, and then also what I've been working on. It is a week or so after Wonderwool, which was our third show in 3 countries in 6 weeks. For those of you that haven't heard of it, Wonderwool Wales is a 2-day show, Wonderwool Wales, which is a bit further east from where we are in Wales, and it celebrates all things wool and textiles. It's in sort of 3 big agricultural barns and has a real mixture of vendors from yarn, fibre, weaving, spinning, fabric, sewing, hand dyers, mills. There's some local weaving mills come and have their lovely cloth, and it's a real sort of local networking catch-up show as much as it is a retail show, which is really lovely. So you'll see the sort of farms with their breed specific yarns will be chatting to the mills where they get their yarn spun, and it's a real nice chance to catch up with everyone in the industry as well as customers. So I was there with Garthnor again, and I had planned to mix things up a bit, and rather than just sit here and tell you about show again, I was going to do a sort of behind the scenes, what it's like to vend at a yarn show, a bit about setup, how the days run, all that kind of thing, but a combination of being very tired, actually working at the show, and getting a bit shy about getting my camera out means that I took very little footage. So I think for your viewing pleasure, I have quite a lot of wobbly shots of the view out of the van window on the way there, a couple of clips of the actual show, and then some more wobbly countryside on the way home. I'll insert it because I have it and there's some quite cute sheep in there, but it's not quite what I had planned, so I will rethink that and maybe give that another go at another show. Sunny mornings feel like they've been few and far between recently, so it was lovely to wake up to this view, and the van was all packed, ready to go. And little Basil the cat was making sure we had everything. And then it was time to hit the road. Lovely spring morning. So as I said, we headed east, skirting round the Cambrian Mountains to get over to Wonderwool Wales. There were so many lambs in the field, and yet I somehow managed to miss them. But we headed over the bridge to the showground, and of course were stuck behind a tractor. So as vendors, we get to park in a little car park around the back. You can see that some people camp, but we live close enough that we didn't need to. This was one of the big halls I was talking about, so you'll see me panning around our lovely neighbours. This is the Garthnor stand. Apologies if that made you dizzy. You can see we had lots of lovely yarn. Everyone loved squishing the bale of Polworth fibre. You might spot a couple of my bags on the corner there. These next few clips, just a montage of lots of lovely sheep. These 2 were Icelandic. I think these were, the sign's going to tell us, Wensleydales. These were Angora goats. Lovely little lambs. They were all so chilled as well. I feel like if we bought the sheep from the farm, they'd be so skittish. But I did get to say hi to a little Shetland. And then, just like that, it was time to pack up. You can see I did not get many clips. So once we packed up, I hung out with the bale of fibre whilst Johnny got the van. And then it was time to head home. Back over the bridge. It's a lovely part of the world. And then back round the mountains and home to collapse on the sofa. It was wonderful. I feel like that footage did not really give you any idea about the show, but hopefully you enjoyed this lovely scenery in the evening sunshine. And that was us, almost back at the farm. It's actually the first time I've properly been to Wonderwool. So I went last year for the last 10 minutes on the Sunday. I had a wedding over in the Cotswolds that I was doing the flowers for, and I cleared that up on the Sunday morning and then drove to Wales to meet Johnny and had about 10 minutes to look around. So I saw the sheep, I saw Anna from Along of Anna, Julie from Tilly Flop, and Amy from Mamie and Florrie, where I bought some lovely sock yarn, which you may have seen in my learning to use a sock machine video. And that was it. Then I helped clear up, and then we drove home. So I don't think that really counts as having been to Wonderwool. So this was my first time there, and it was lovely. I went off for a few wanders, more to stretch my legs and sort of stay awake. It's over quite a large area, so it's in 3 big barns and very spacious, which is lovely. And just had a few chats with people and squished some lovely yarn, said hello to some sheep, and ate some very nice crepes. If you're going and the crepe stand is there, I would recommend. We had lemon and sugar and cheese and onion, both of which were very nice. And the other big plus point as a vendor is that there is a tea urn hidden away, which I made the most of. So yeah, it was a really enjoyable weekend. We got to catch up with lots of customers and friends, and there was a lovely group of people came over from Bath who I hadn't seen in ages, so it's nice to catch up with them. And I did take my project bags and they did quite well. I'm down to the last few, which is a lovely feeling. So thank you so much if you looked at, commented, liked, bought one. I really appreciate it. So I think that's about all I have to say about Wonderwool. Not the most insightful summary, but it was a lovely show. I would recommend going, and especially if the weather is nice. It was so warm, too warm to wear knitwear, which isn't always the best thing at a yarn show, but I'm not complaining. It has been glorious weather here, and it was no different for that weekend. So on to what came home with me. The first thing I got was entirely Johnny's fault. I wasn't planning on getting any yarn. If you've watched any of my videos recently, you will know that I have bought quite a lot at the yarn shows we've been going to, and I want to work through that before getting more. However, I do also love a bargain, and not that far from our stand was the Wool Top stand, and they had some really good value wool. The guy, I can't remember his name, who runs that, his job is sourcing fibre for people, and so he knows what's good, what's where, and so he has access to lovely fibre and was selling it. So I got 5 skeins of this, which is 100% wool 4-ply. I absolutely love the colour. It's a sort of steely blue, slightly tealy, and I got 5 skeins to make sure that I definitely have enough for a jumper. I could probably have got away with 4, but I didn't want to run out or be like limited if I found a pattern I loved but didn't have enough yarn. So I got 5 of these, and they were £5 each. I can't believe it. £25 for a jumper is 100% wool is unheard of. And I was a little bit skeptical, but Johnny reassured me that it's legit and the guy selling it really knows his stuff and sells very nice fibre. I keep saying fibre because he sources fibre for mills, not for Garthenor, but for crash, Good job, yarn bouncers. Yeah, so really chuffed with that. And I have done a little gauge swatch, which I think should be dry, so I can take it off this board. Speaking of, these boards, or this board, I have a set of them. They're just like the playmat ones. I've always just blocked stuff on towels, and Johnny spotted these and got them for me, and which was a lovely surprise to come home to. And I didn't think they'd make that much difference, but things dry so much quicker on them. I think because the towel just stays wet and holds the moisture, whereas these are waterproof, so the water has to sort of evaporate away, it can't linger. So stuff dries a lot more quickly. So if you're on the fence, I would get some, especially for the winter months when things take forever to dry. But this is the swatch. I really like the fabric, how it's turned out. This is on a 3mm needle. And let's have a look-see. I'm not going to do that. I think in a future video, I will work out what my gauge is, and then maybe we can have a look on Ravelry or a pattern and see what we can find. But yeah, I really like the fabric. It's got a really nice luster to it as well. So I'm looking forward to making something with that. I'm sort of imagining a slightly oversized throw on over everything, good for like colder summer evenings or autumn, or layering in the winter, sort of every day, nothing too fancy. So that was the yarn that I wasn't planning to come home with. And then I picked up two other things at the show. One from our neighbour, Rachel at Daughter of a Shepherd. She has, as well as having beautiful yarn, has a lovely selection of notions and books. I would recommend, if you're looking for a gift for a knitter or crocheter, or someone interested in fibre and wool, she has a really nice selection of books, so have a look there. But I spotted this stitch marker. I am a sucker for stitch markers, and I thought it was just a sheep, and then I got up close and I realised that it's a sheep with a party hat on, and it made me really happy. And so it came home with me. And yeah, I hope you can see his little hat. It's very jazzy, black and white stripes. And I just thought that would make me smile as I'm knitting my rounds. So he came home with me. I feel like he needs a name. And then the last thing I got is in one of my project bags. I actually have a couple of this design left in this littler size, and one of the flowery ones left. So I'll put a link below if you would like to have a look. There are still a few available. But in here we have something new, so completely new. It's not knitting, it's not crochet. I have been contemplating the idea of trying spinning for a little while. I've seen people doing it and it looks quite relaxing and kind of intriguing. And we were opposite Cat and Sparrow, and she hand dyes fibre. And so I was looking at it and I got tempted. This is a braid of 100% British Shetland. It's 50 grams and the colourway is Lichen and Moss. It's just got all these beautiful, I have started using it. It did look a lot neater when I got it. But it's got these beautiful blues, greens, golds, browns, all sorts running through there. And I spent a while, she was really helpful talking through good fibre to start with for beginners and all that jazz, which may sound ridiculous given that my boyfriend owns a spinning mill, but I just went in as a complete novice because I don't do any spinning at the mill, so I know a bit but not much in practical terms. And then also at Wonderwool I spotted on my way to the tea urn a lady who, she was called, or her brand was Lucy the Tudor. She was dressed up as a Tudor, and she hand carves and hand makes the most beautiful items. I also got, which I don't have with me, a lovely hand carved wooden darning needle, and she had drop spindles, and they are beautiful. So this one is made of ash, and it's got this amazing grain on it, and yeah, I just thought it was a beautiful object, and so the two combined, it felt like the right time to give spinning a go. One of the things that's put me off is I am a bit of a perfectionist, and I thought if I'm sat there making really lumpy yarn, I'm not going to want to use it at the end, a bit of a waste, etc, etc. However, I think, I don't know, I don't want to sound big-headed, I think I've got the hang of it quite quickly. It's by no means perfect, and I've got a lot of improvement to do, but I envisaged having sort of great lumps of unspun fibre in the middle, and then really skinny bits that kept snapping, and it's only snapped twice because I overspun it slightly. But like, for a first attempt, so I've done this sort of, where are we? Maybe like 4 little evening sessions, and you know, it looks like yarn. It took me a minute to work out what I was doing because all the videos have the drop spindles with metal hooks on the top, and this one just has a little notch, but I have now worked out that you just do a little, is it called a half hitch? A hitch? But yeah, I'm so pleased with this. The colours are all nice and sort of merged. It does look like lichen and moss. I haven't been too precious about how the colours are sort of changing. So I'll just sort of take off a piece and spin that and then go on to the next one. So I think you can be a bit more intentional with how the colour changes go. But I haven't worried about any of that at this stage. I'm just really enjoying it. As I said, because I thought I'd be so worried about making it perfect, I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I find it really relaxing, because you don't really, you're focused enough, but you're not counting stitches or following a pattern or trying to do anything like that. You're just spinning this and pulling apart tufts of fibre, really. I've just sort of messed this up a bit here, but yeah, I've really enjoyed it, so I'm just gonna potter on. I'm quite happy with it as it is at the minute. I think at some point I might want to look at a few more videos and learn a bit more about the technique, but yeah, I've loved it. It's been a really pleasant surprise. So that is one of the things I've been working on in the evenings, and I'm excited to keep going now that I've shown you. I didn't want to mess the braid up till I'd shown it, because it looks so beautiful all braided. The other things I've been working on in the evening are some embroidery. You may remember when I went up to Edinburgh for Woolly Good, I got an embroidery kit from Love, Live, Give Art, and I have made a start. So I you get this, it's like a giant sticker, fabric sticker that I've put on the linen, and that gives you your outlines, and then I've been stitching into those following the colours that she suggested. So the design is called Autumn, I think, so it's got these slightly more muted colours, which I think are really pretty. And then once you've stitched the whole thing, this is like a wash away panel, so you'll just be left with the stitching in this lovely, really soft blue linen. So I've been working on this the last few evenings, 2 evenings, and so I don't think it's going to take me too long, which is nice. I've done 3 motifs already, and there's another 8 to go, some of which are a bit simpler, some of which a bit more complicated. So I've been really enjoying that. Again, not too much brain power. There's a theme in my projects recently. And it's nice to sort of see it progressing quite quickly. And then that will get sewn up into a drawstring bag is what the kit's for. I think I'll keep it as that. But it's a big bit of fabric, so I could always have a play if I want to. And then the final thing to show you is the jumper, which you may have seen before. I am working on this ready for Big Flock, which is a new yarn show coming up in 2 weeks' time in Bristol. And I'm going to be helping out on the Walcott yarn stand. And so I'm knitting a sample for that show. So this is done in Walcott Yarn's Origin, which is the worsted weight in the colour Juniper, and it's a pattern by Erica Knight, who's designed a collection for them, and this is called Long Weekend, and it's going quite well. So the sleeves are finished. They have this really lovely balloon shape, which is even better when it's on. So 2 sleeves, and then the body I've been going round and round, which is quite boring, but it is fitting really nicely. I'm not going to try it on because I have a jumper on, but it's sort of down to the top of my trousers, so I think I either need to do the ribbing now and have it as a sort of, not cropped, but shorter length jumper, or keep going for another few inches before adding the ribbing and have it as a longer one. I'm in 2 minds. Part of me thinks to do the shorter length just to get it done, so it's definitely done in time for the show, and I can always go back and add a bit of length later on. But I'm not sure if I'd wear it, if I'd feel more comfortable with it being a bit longer. So I need to have a think about that. With that in mind, I think I'm going to do the neck next, which is sort of comes up a bit and folds over. And then I'll be able to really see how it's sitting and see how long I want to make it. But I think I'm well on the way to getting this done in time for the show. I'm not stressed about it. I had a little break from it the last couple of evenings to do the other bits, and I might go wind up another ball of yarn after this and do a bit more. But yeah, it's one of those, it's not the most interesting thing to knit, which is fine, and if you're in the mood for that, that's great. But it fits so nicely, and I think I will wear it so much. It's definitely more of a product knit than a process knit, which is all good. It's just that slight, like when you've got a deadline, I feel bad if I work on anything else. So I think I will crack on and get it done so that I can work on some other things. If I'm feeling brave, I will put a clip in of me wearing it as it is at the moment. But to be honest, I probably won't, because I don't love videos of me. She says filming a video. But anyway, that is that. So hopefully next time I show you that, it will be finished. And before I go, I should probably mention what I'm wearing, which is the jail, I don't know how you say it, I'll put it on the screen, sweater, and I did this in Rowan felted tweed. I'm trying to remember the colours. I want to say clay and seafarer, and then with their Kid Silk Haze in navy and pearl. I will put all the information on the screen, so if I have said that wrong, the on the screen is definitely correct. And I really like this. It's got the chevron design on the lower bit of the body and then the sleeves. I will say that this isn't the yarn that she called for in the design, and it has a really lovely neck, like it sits a bit higher, and it was fitting beautifully until I blocked this, and then it all just sat a bit wrong and it wasn't fitting across here. It was all like folded and strange. So I did a bit of surgery on the neck, so it's not quite how it should be, but I do love it. It's so cozy and soft. And I got this yarn from my local yarn shop back in Norwich. And yeah, I knit this quite a while ago now. It's got some nice details like this, the sort of seam, it's knit in the round, but yeah, I'm never quite sure about the fit of these jumpers where they don't, I don't know what you call this. I'm not very, I don't really know all the lingo of sweater constructions, but yeah, it's fine if you don't need to layer anything on top of it. Like I can't fit a coat on top of it because the arms go all weird, but for a day like today when it's a bit chilly, it's a nice one to throw on. So yes, I'm gonna go have a nap maybe, but I will be back in a week or two to chat through something that isn't a yarn show for a change. And yeah, I'm excited to make some more videos about past projects, current projects. I've also got a new idea for my Anna Untangle bags. I'm gonna go work on a new design for those, and yeah, I will see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.